Hello and welcome to iForgeAhead. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at some of the key differences between iForgeAhead and its predecessor, ForgeAhead. This will be especially helpful for those of you who have used ForgeAhead previously, and we'll highlight some of the ways things are handled differently in iForgeAhead, as well as some of the features that have been built in to iForgeAhead that were not in ForgeAhead. We'll start here on the home screen. This is the page that displays initially when you first log into the system. We're going to start by talking about differences in contacts, and I'll begin by clicking the Look Up a Contact. This will bring up a list of all the contacts in your system, and that's a difference between this system and ForgeAhead. You may recall that in ForgeAhead you had different buttons that would take you to a list of people, or a list of suppliers, or a list of stables, etc. In iForgeAhead, all of your contacts are grouped into one big list, which can contain individuals or companies. Each record can be categorized, so it is easy to use the filter list over here to find and look at only people who are in a certain category. I want to show you how that works by looking at the roles section, and we'll do that by going into an individual contact record, clicking on one of the names in the list, and that will bring up the contact details screen for this specific record. Start over here on the right. You'll notice that there is a horse owner checkbox. That is the same as it was in ForgeAhead. That box will need to be checked for any record that you want to associate horses with, assuming that's an individual person and not a stable record. Just to the left of that, you'll see this area in here called roles. Now in ForgeAhead, you could assign a person to a role, such as a trainer or a veterinarian or a stable, but you could only assign them to one role. A difference that we've put into iForgeAhead is that a contact record can now be in multiple roles, and this is all controlled in this section of the system. You'll see that the contact record we're looking at right now is currently assigned to a role of trainer. Let's go ahead and add another role to this individual by clicking the plus next to the roles. Now we have a new area where we can select a new role for this contact, and we'll say that in addition to being a trainer, this particular contact is also a veterinarian. We'll select that option and click the green check mark for save, and now we can see right here that this person is assigned to both of these roles. Another difference that you may have noticed right away in the contact section is this picture here. We've added a feature where each individual contact can have a picture associated with it, primarily for identification purposes. This part has also been added into the horse records as well. So when you're in the detailed view for a specific horse, there is a possibility to have one picture associated at the top level with that horse. Also, just like in ForgeAhead though, for horses you can have many pictures through the horse notes feature. This particular contact has already had a picture assigned to it, which it'll display small right here. If you want to see it larger, you'll click the Zoom Edit link below the picture, which will bring up a pop-up that shows the picture in a larger window. When you come into a contact record that does not have a picture assigned, you'll see that instead of the picture in that same area, there will be a link that says Add Picture. Which is right here, and if we click this, that will bring up a pop-up window that will allow you to upload a picture from your device and associate it with this contact. You would use the Browse button and then the Upload Picture button to do that, but I'm going to click Cancel at this point. Another difference in contacts is we've added a new field called region. This will allow you to divide your contacts into geographic areas that can help you with your scheduling. When you first start using iForgeAhead, the region drop-down list will be empty, and you can set up your own list of how you want to name your regions that apply to your work areas, and you can do that in Account Settings, Manage Value Lists. But the region field is new to iForgeAhead. Another new area on contacts is these fields right here: late pay history, birthday. Those are actually not fields that you will see in your system. Those are user-defined fields, which I have set up for this demonstration to say late pay history and birthday. User-defined fields exist under contacts as well as under horses, and it allows you to create new fields, up to 2 new fields, for information that you want to track that we haven't provided specific fields for. I'll show you quickly where to set that up. It's going to be under Settings, and we'll click on Settings at the top, and from the Settings page we'll go to Settings for Contacts. In this screen you can select how your names will be sorted, and down here are the custom fields. There's 2 for contacts, and when you first open this up, this information will say User Field 1 and User Field 2. You use this screen to add your own descriptions of the type of data that you would like to track additionally for each contact. You put that description in these fields, as I've done here, and we'll save it. And then that's what makes those field names show up in your contacts over on the right section of the screen. Again, user-defined fields, here they are right here. User-defined fields are available here for contacts, and there's also 4 user-defined fields available for horses, which you can also set from the Settings tab. The final difference I want to show you involves horses, and I'm going to start by going to the horses lookup. ForgeAhead allowed you to track hoof spec information such as angles, lengths, etc. For each horse, but we had an add-on module called Hoof Track, which was optional, and those people that purchased it were allowed to track hoof spec information over time. We have added that feature as a standard feature within iForgeAhead, so all iForgeAhead users can track hoof specifications, not just one per horse, but over time. We're now in a horse's detailed record, and the hoof track information can be accessed right here. This particular horse has no hoof specs yet, but if we click the plus button, we'll be able to add them, and you can add multiple hoof specs for each horse. Each one will have a date, and so you can track hoof information over time. Here you'll see the data that comprises the hoof spec information. I'm going to cancel that with the blue arrow. And that concludes our tutorial today on key differences between iForgeAhead and ForgeAhead. Thanks very much.